Greetings and welcome to The End. Last week, this week, and next week, the podcast companion to The End, the website and newsletter that shines a light back on audio fiction shows after they've reached the finale of a season or the conclusion of the series. I am your host and the curator of The End, Evo Terra. Let's get into it, shall we?
Last week.
The most recent issue of The End, the 63rd, highlighted 7 shows in either the complete series or season finale sections, and 4 of them wrapped in the last few days. Midnight Burger, a dramatized sci-fi comedy series from Joe Fisher and Fable and Folly, posted the season 3 finale on November the 14th. Listen to the 44 current episodes in about 42 hours. Meta Stories, a narrated classic tragedy series from Meta Stories, posted their Season 3 finale also on November the 14th. Listen to the 12 current episodes in just over 2 hours. Midnight on Mercy Mountain, a dramatized comedy series produced by a queer creator named Mallory Spencer, posted the Season 1 finale on November the 13th. Listen to the 17 current episodes in about 3 hours. R.E. Dracula, a narrated horror series from Bloody FM, completed the entire series on November the 13th. Settle in for a listening time of over 23 hours across the 110 episodes. And be sure to listen to the end of this audio file to hear trailers or snippets for these shows.
This week.
With every issue, I make 2 personal recommendations for great audio fiction I personally love. As with all things in life, your mileage may vary. My first recommendation is Lake Song, a dramatized sci-fi series from Make Believe Association. Not all post-apocalyptic or dystopian stories need to be terrible, nearly hopeless tales of barely eked-out survival. This is one of those stories, told through the voices of a talented cast and sound designers. Listen to the trailer.
From Make Believe Association.
Oh, hey, happy New Year.
An epic new audio drama series.
All right, 2098, can you believe it? How about the music?
A story about the future.
The federal government collapsed.
There is no Washington now.
As cities around the Great Lakes waged war against each other.
Canals, where roads used to be.
Freshwater is the last and greatest commodity in the world.
2 siblings in the Republic of Chicago on the south side.
Yeah, I'm working with the mayor
Really
now. Yeah, it's
Perfect. So I need you to do something for me.
With new opportunities.
We designed, built, and launched a Mars mission in 19 weeks. Let me show you.
And new dangers.
We're on the verge of bad times again. I can feel it, like you feel a storm.
A story about a world that's changed.
What if some of us are meant to heal?
Do you have water for us? Let the waves lift you.
That's what they've been building in the lake?
But like the ones who came before us, we can save this city. We can save each other.
Lake Song, a new audio drama series, coming in October. Visit lakesong.fm. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Listen.
Sing until you get home.
Lake Song is a complete series. You'll need about 5 hours to listen to all 12 episodes. My next recommendation is The Dial-Up, a dramatized sci-fi comedy series from Philip Catherwood. This one is short and sweet, but it's a fun premise that's nearly perfect for a fiction podcast. Here's the Season 2 trailer.
What year is it?
Why are you asking me that?
I told you, it's crazy, just humour me.
Are you in the past? Are you, like, back in time?
I'm not calling you from before 2023.
So, you're in my time?
No, I'm not. I'm calling you from 2052.
You're actually in the future? No way!
Listen, let me try to explain. I'm a research physicist. I created the wormholes.
Do you have, like, robot arms attached to you?
No, I don't need bionics. I've got my own arms.
Do you even use phones? Or are you just using something like Alexa?
Oh, wow, you're still using Alexa? Rightro.
Tell me when Grey's Anatomy finally ends.
You'll find out.
Tell me who wins World War III.
Oh, it hasn't finished yet.
Oh, now we're talking. Have we landed humans on Mars?
Oh yeah, that's old news. Venus is the place to be talking about now. Everyone's in the metaverse these days. That's where all my friends want to hang out. Not face to face, never in person.
This is what I've been saying. No one knows how to connect in real life anymore.
But now you can help me. Now I know this works and you've actually seen the anomaly. I can find a way to close it for good.
I meet someone else, someone cool, and I have to say goodbye to them all over again.
As long as it means you're agreeing to help me. Are you?
The Dial-Up currently has 2 seasons with 9 total episodes. You'll need less than 2 hours to catch up, with Season 3 slated to start in September of next year.
Next week.
The latest issue of The End has 4 entries in the new season's coming soon section, but none of them start up again in the next few days. I'll take this time to tell you 2 things. 1. I recently revamped the newsletter and show pages on the website. No, you won't see those changes if you're only reading the newsletter, because email formatting is much less full-featured than what I can do on a web page. So, if you haven't clicked through to see the entire site, do that. You'll love it. And 2, the bills are coming due for some investments we've made, and I could really use your help. You can become an individual supporter of The End for like less than $25 a year. Yes, a year. That's all. And supporting creatives can sign up for about twice that amount, which is still really, really tiny. So, if you can, please go to TheEnd.fyi/support and sign up. I could really use the help. And please remember that trailers or snippets for the 4 shows I mentioned at the start of this episode are coming your way right after I say... And that's all for this episode of The End. Last week, this week, and next week, for these and the other audio fiction shows featured, highlighted, and coming soon that were included in the 63rd issue of The End, including links to listen to the shows mentioned in this episode, please visit TheEnd.fyi. I'm Evo Terra. Thanks for listening. And here are your trailers or snippets. Midnight Burger.
Okay, he's gonna take us pretty fast now. There goes the village. And then here comes the...
Oh, wow.
Ice Age.
This is amazing. Ava, you're a scientist. Are you in heaven right now? This is amazing, right?
History's boring.
Why?
Because it already happened.
Oh, come on!
I've seen some pretty amazing nonsense sitting at this booth, you know? Time slippage is pretty kindergarten for me at this point.
Can you humor me, please? I'm having a moment. Be amazed with me.
Give me another cigarette, and I'll promise to get interested in something.
You really like cigarettes.
This place is the most amazing place in existence, but nobody thought to put in a cigarette machine.
Okay, fine. I'll make that deal.
Excellent. Hey, Leaf.
Yeah?
We're going to make a stop at the Devonian era.
We can't keep doing this.
Or I could remind you that you almost got us killed today.
Fine. Coming up on it. I'm going to stop around 415 million BC.
That'll do. Get your purse. We're going outside.
Isn't that bad? Isn't there something where we could change the present by messing with the past?
No, the butterfly effect is sexist.
Oh, it's sexist?
Only a man could think himself so important that even his slightest action could influence the time stream.
Okay, we're here.
Let's go.
Midnight Burger, a dramatized sci-fi comedy series from Joe Fisher and Fable and Folly, has reached the Season 3 finale. Meta Stories.
Hi there. Hello. Thank you for finding us. I heard once that a good story won't tell you what to think. but we'll tell you what to think about. So we tried to create a story based on humble dialogues between a few characters and without too much action going around. And there won't be any conclusions in the stories, but I can promise there will be sharp and open endings where you will decide what to think about. So maybe we could just settle down and listen to what they have to say. You will find traces of Greek mythology, historical events, Shakespearean tragedies, and a bit of philosophy in these dialogues. You will witness how the characters will blame each other for being responsible for the downfall of mankind. And the names of the characters won't matter. Most of the time we haven't even named them and kept them as the old versus the young, the hero versus the villain, or the father versus the child. Just to emphasize the contrasts between them, so the conflict and the tension could be more apparent. So it will be stories told by different characters, happening to different persons, since they would struggle in the very same ancient endless circle. And always, as we know, the strong could become the weak, the right could become the wrong, and the innocent could turn into the greatest villain. Nevertheless, in a way, this show will still be about our disappointments, our tragedies, and some of the darkest consequences of our greatest achievements. So please so kindly join me to explore the tensions between them, raised by their conflicted interests, and you won't need to choose a side, as I can promise that they are all equally not good people. And honestly, it's always been a shaky ground for us, but I hope you won't like the characters, but I hope you will like the show.
Meta Stories, a narrated classic tragedy series from Meta Stories, has also reached the Season 3 finale. Midnight on Mercy Mountain.
It was an especially hot and humid one today, with the heat index surpassing 100. Mercy Mountain residents are stirring from their heat-imposed torpors to carry out tasks they could not complete in the height of the day. Elderly Juniper Solo is busy in her garden as the heat of the sun dissipates into the thick, cooling air. Juniper hauls flagstones to cover up the journals she has buried amongst a moonlit expanse of black-eyed Susans, coneflowers, petunias, and butterfly bushes. A bat swoops by overhead, shaking Juniper out of her focus. She turns her face up to the velvety sky in an attempt to glean the path of the flying creature. After taking a deep breath of midnight air, she returns to her work of rearranging her garden. Carter Bykowski runs with his dog past the vacant, haunted lot on North Paris Green Street, sporting his usual reflective vest, leather pants, and bright headlamp. The workers at the Sonic on Maple Street seem to have started a rave. Multicolored lights flash violently from inside the restaurant, and you can hear their howls and shrieks from over a block away. The Smiths, not the rambunctious family that lives on Trillium Avenue, but the middle-aged couple who work at the library, sit on their couch in their dark living room, the only source of light their flickering television screen. Carrie tightens her arm around her wife's shoulders in a reactionary move as the boys makes them both jump yet again. No one tell them any spoilers. A cool breeze swoops down along the mountain as the glowing eyes of a coyote emerge from a ravine.
Midnight on Mercy Mountain, a dramatized comedy series produced by a queer creator named Mallory Spencer, has reached the Season 1 finale. R.E. Dracula.
6th of November. It was late in the afternoon when the Professor and I took our way towards the east, whence I knew Jonathan was coming.
11th of October, evening. Jonathan Harker has asked me to note this, as he says he is hardly equal to the task, and he wants an exact record kept. I think none of us were surprised when we were asked to see Mrs. Harker a little before the time of sunset. We have of late come to understand that sunrise and sunset.
25th of September, 6 o'clock. Dear Madam Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. You may sleep without doubt. Strange and terrible as it is true. I will pledge my life.
24th of August. I must imitate Mina and keep writing things down. Then we can have long talks when we do meet. I wonder when it will be. I wish you were here with me again.
25th of May. My dear Art, we've told yarns by the campfire in the prairies and dressed one another's wounds after trying to land...
3rd of May. Bistritz. I had for dinner, or rather, supper, a chicken, done up some way with red pepper. Memorandum, get recipe for Mina. I asked the waiter, and he said it was called Paprika Hendel.
Can you sing to me, O muse, or has your voice gone up in smoke? It's understandable, the fear could clear your mind enough to choke. But if you'll grant me your attention, just a darkest hour or two, I'll spin a story so horrific, you'll be glad it isn't you. There's a castle on a cliffside, full to brim with death and sin, where a man arrived one stormy night and begged to be let in. Not the man of which you're thinking, this is prologue for the rest, for the thing that answered this man's cries was evil at its best. It's familiar like a nightmare that you know you've had before, a deja vu that captures you and chills you to the core. A tale of woe, no way home, of creatures of the night. Better fear the devil's bark, 'cause Johnny boy, he's got a bite. All are welcome in my father's house, the master in black said, and our victim of the hour felt his heart fill up with dread. Take a look where he directs you, hear the plan he has devised, and take note of all the exits, you're not leaving here alive. It's familiar like a nightmare that you know you've had before, a deja vu that captures you, chills you to the core. A tale of woe, of no way home, of creatures of the night. Better fear the devil's bark, 'cause Johnny boy, he's got a bite. Now you have been warned against the horrors yet to come. If you dare to still continue, there'll be no place left to run. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show you've chosen to embark. And no matter what, be careful if you hit play after dark. It's familiar like a nightmare that you know you've had before, a deja vu that captures you and chills you to the core. A tale of woe, no way home, of creatures of the night. Better fear the devil's bark, 'cause Johnny boy, he's got a bite. Better fear the devil's bark, 'cause Johnny boy, he's got a bite.
I am in hopes that I shall see more of you at Castle Dracula.
R.E. Dracula, a narrated horror series from Bloody FM, has reached the end of the entire series. And that's it for the additional trailers or snippets. Once again, I am Evo Terra for The End. Cheers!